Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you how I made these fun little notepad holders for my team members at OnStage in Charlotte. So let me set this aside and we'll get started. Okay, for this project I've taken my file folder and I've cut down 6 inches, and then I've cut the section that I wanted 9 3/4 inches, and this is the waist from the back of the folder. I'm going to place the bottom of the front of the notepad in the corner here against the ruler, and I am going to begin scoring at the 4 1/8 inch mark, the 4 5/8 inch mark, and the 5 1/8 inch mark, and then I can set my scoreboard to the side. I'm going to fold on those lines and make sure I get a nice crease with my bone folder. These folders happen to be really thick, and so I want to make sure that's nice and tight before I move on to the next step. And the next step is to bring in my personal trimmer. I am going to set my folder front on the top here, and I'm going to put it at the 1 inch mark, and I am going to slide my cutting blade all the way down to 4 1/8 inch, you can see here, and then I'm going to slide it down from the first score line all the way to the third, which is the 5 1/8 inch. I'm going to leave my blade where it's at, and I'm going to slide my folder over to the 3 inch mark, starting at the 5 1/8 and going up to the 4 1/8, and that's going to connect the slit on the 2 score lines. Once I have that done, I am ready to start adding my adhesive, and I am going to be pushing this first section down, and that's the one I want to put the adhesive down on because I want to create this little box for the pen. So I'm going to add the tear and tape here, and again at the top. And of course, if you add a little too much tear and tape, the great thing is you can tear it off or pull off the protective coating and double it back on itself, and you won't have any problems with it adhering since it's double-sided. I'm going to remove that protective coating on it, and then I'm going to fold that down and burnish well. Now at this point you can push the front of your folder and you'll see you've got this great little folder, perfect to put your notepad on. And I happen to be using just an inexpensive notepad that I got at my dollar store. I'm pulling off the top here, and I'll trim that with my paper snip since I don't need that. I'm simply cutting it along that black line. So that's removed and I can clean that up. I am going to take my multi-purpose or my tear and tape, and I'm going to add adhesive liberally over the back of this. And then I am going to lay it on my folder. And of course the multi-purpose liquid allows you to shift and move things as you like. And then I can set that down and make sure it's where I want. Burnish a little bit and allow that to dry. So let me show you how I did the little pen. I am taking a 1 by 3 inch piece of our Happiness Blooms Designer Series paper, and I am going to use the barrel of my pen to wrap that around and kind of break down the fibers in it. And this happens to be a RSVP Pentel pen. I love these for decorating. And once I've got that kind of a circular shape, then I'm going to remove the pen from the cartridge, or the cartridge from the pen, and I am going to slowly take my fingers and wrap that piece of Designer Series paper around the pen cartridge. And no worries, this takes a little bit of practice to get it nice and tight, but once you get the hang of this, it'll be just fine. And I'm going to slide that into the barrel and then use my paper snips or piercer to slide it in, and I'm going to put my pen cap on, and at this point I am ready to slide that beautifully decorated pen right into the notebook. That's it. It's that quick and simple. So let me show you the original again. Here we go. I've used my Fun Crafting Forever to add this little layering circle and scallop circle focal point on the front. And then of course I've stamped a little bit on the inside of the pad so they can get started as a little special gift. I hope you've enjoyed this project. If you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.